My friend, yesterday I had the idea to take thrifted items and upcycle them into fabulous centerpieces. So that's what I did today. I went to the thrift store, picked up all of these different pieces that I'm going to use really more as the foundation or the base of my centerpiece. But I need to play with them a little bit and transform them, upcycle them so I can create the centerpieces with them. I'm Nicole with The Door on the Table. I am so excited to get started on this, but first I want to share with you how much I spent, what I bought, and then we're going to take and transform some of the pieces, and then we're going to go and build the centerpieces. So first off, I spent a whole $17.67 on all the pieces you see here. I found this wonderful vintage pitcher. I actually have the glasses that go with it, and when I saw the pitcher for $2.99, I had to buy it. And I know it's going to work well in any kind of centerpiece. The next thing was this tray. It's got a wonderful wooden base that looks stained, and then it's got this black chicken wire around it. I did keep the price tags on everything. I haven't cleaned up anything. I haven't done anything with them except for put them on my table and now sharing them with you. Then I found this wonderful woven tray that is in excellent condition. It was just $4.99. There is nothing wrong with this. Talk about a great thrift store find. Next was this metal white cake stand. My guess, actually, it's probably from Target or Hobby Lobby originally. It's not in the best condition, but I think I can work with it. Then, and that was $3.99, which I forgot to mention. The things that have the tan tags were 30% off and green tag was half off. So this glass, I think of it as like a hurricane vase, was $3.99, but actually half off, $2. And then the last thing is this silver plate base that obviously held a dish that probably had a lid on top of it, and then the fuel source to keep what food goes in the dish inside of it warm. It's missing everything else. It's just the shell, kind of the structure of the piece. I think it's something I can work with, and I'm really excited to kind of see how this one can transform. But let's see what we can do with these thrifted finds and how we can turn them into fabulous centerpieces. Let's go. I removed the tags and completely cleaned the different pieces I brought home. In doing so, I decided I want to try to tackle some really easy DIY projects on the three pieces in front of me. I'm not going to touch the two glass pieces, and the cake stand I may or may not do something with. I haven't decided yet, but I have an idea in mind for this tray that's not going to actually change the overall look of it. With what I'm calling the chicken wire tray, when I needed to take the price tag off of the wood part of it, I needed to use Goo Gone, and that or the soap and water I needed to use to get the Goo Gone off removed the finish of the wood, but it still left the circular stain. So I want to do something that's going to get rid of that circular stain and improve the way this wood piece looks. Plus, I'm not a big fan of black chicken wire, so I'll probably paint or do something with that too. And then with this silver piece, it was so dirty, but it still feels very grimy and rough. I did try to take some silver polish to it, which I don't think you can see very well. It didn't really improve the appearance, and I have a feeling that most of whatever silver plate was on this is completely gone, and that I'm left with the bare metal. So I definitely want to improve the way this tray looks. So let's get started. Getting started on my chicken wire tray, I want to remove the wood from the frame itself, and fortunately, this manufacturer actually attached it with screws, so I'm hoping it should be easy to separate from each other. Nice. So now I've got the two different pieces I can work with. And for this tray, I'm going to change the base. I want to change the way the bottom of the tray looks. My idea is to take this piece of cardboard, or I could use film core if this ends up not working out, along with this wallpaper. And I'm going to cover the cardboard with the wallpaper and then use that as a new insert for my tray. But I first need to remove this tablecloth before I can get working on that part of the project. I've pulled everything to start working on the new base for my tray. What I need to do is to make sure that this piece of cardboard will fit snugly into the bottom. I'm going to take my tape measure and measure the interior dimension of the tray. If you're not familiar with this kind of ruler, it's actually one used for quilting. I love it because it can help see through it and all the different measurements on it. I find it's the easiest ruler for me to use. I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and trim. Now let's see if this is going to fit into my tray. It looks like I need to trim a little bit more on this side. Look how snug that fits in the tray. Now I want to measure the wallpaper to cover the base. Take a look at how cute this wallpaper is. I think I want to first trim off the excess on top so that way I have a straight, accurate line at the top of my wallpaper. Now let's measure from this end down that way. And now I need to measure lengthwise. Now let's take the board and put it inside the wallpaper. My idea is to take these ends and be able to fold them down, but on the corners it's going to be too thick of paper, so I'm going to trim the corners to be able to lay the paper over. Because I'm working with wallpaper, it's a little thick and I want to make sure that the glue is going to adhere the cardboard to the wallpaper. I'm going to use a spray adhesive. This is the one I have. It's actually made for styrofoam. I'm really hoping it's going to work and adhere these two together. Otherwise, I'm going to need to go buy a different spray adhesive. My new tray base is dry. Let's take a look at how it looks inside the tray. Oh my gosh, I love this. It is so cute. All right, I'm moving on to the wood base of this chicken wire tray. There's that circular stain I am not loving and I want to get rid of it. So I'm sanding it down, hoping it will disappear. Geez, that stain was tougher than I thought. I think I finally got it all out. Remember how I said I'm not a fan of the black chicken wire? Well, I'm giving it a quick spray of the soft heirloom white that I absolutely love. Since I'm already painting, I figured why not tackle the silver chafing stand? I'm going with a super matte shade called Mist. I think it is the prettiest soft blue. Honestly, I wasn't too sure about spray painting this piece because I love silver pieces. But since it was in such bad condition, I figured it was okay. What are your thoughts on spray painting old silver plate pieces? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to find out. I was hoping I had a dish that would fit inside the chafing stand, but I don't. However, I did find this cake pan that I bought at Dollar Tree a while ago, and it fits perfectly inside it. So while I'm at it, I'm giving it a good coat of spray paint too. While everything's drying, I'm staining the wood base with a walnut finish. I can only find a left-hand glove, so keeping the stain off my right hand might be a little tricky. I do have a few rags that I'm going to use to help apply the stain, making sure that I go with the grain of the wood. Oh my gosh, check out this stain color. It is going to be gorgeous. My friend, it is ridiculously hot and I'm wearing black, so I'm basically roasting. It's hard to believe we're in fall when it feels like the middle of summer. To top it off, it's windy, so I'm keeping a close eye to make sure nothing gets blown into this wet stain. Okay, the stain's dry and looking good. Next up is the clear glossy sealer. I love how it gives the wood that rich glow and makes the color pop. I've finished staining and sealing the base of my chicken wire tray. I had to wait 24 hours for this final step to completely dry. Take a look at the bottom, kind of the before and the after. I love this dark color. Now I need to take and reattach it though to the chicken wire frame. Look how cute this turned out. I love the light chicken wire combination with the dark wood inset. With the DIY projects done, let's get to styling some fall centerpieces. I'm going to stick with my white tablecloth as the base, using the fall decor I already have. The only thing that's new are the thrifted finds, oh, and some flowers I bought. So for this first look, I'm layering a vintage crochet doily on top of the wood tray. Next, I'm adding a really pretty bud vase and then some faux metal flowers I picked up at an antique store. And to top it off, my DIY cloche. I did that in my Trash to Treasure video. If you missed it, I'll make sure I put a link down below so you can go check it out. For a second idea with this tray, I'm keeping with its farmhouse vibe. I'm starting with a vintage pitcher filled with dried cattail reeds, then adding tall vintage wooden candle holders on each side. Which I'm adding orange taper candles, and to finish it off, I'm tucking 3 shiny decorative balls around the base of each candlestick for a little extra sparkle. For my clear hurricane vase, I'm going to start with this twig wreath as the base. In the middle of the hurricane glass, I'm going to add this cylinder glass. I got this from Dollar Tree a few years ago. I know you've seen this trick before where you put a vase inside of a vase. I have 3 different colors of these glass beads. I'm going to mix them up because they're going to pull in the same colors from the beads, and I'm going to slide these between my 2 vases, so it's going to hide that internal vase. I'm filling the vase with flowers I grabbed at Trader Joe's. I love buying blooms there. The selection is way better than my regular grocery store. Where do you usually get your flowers? Do you have a florist close by? I really wish I did. There used to be one, but not anymore. Next, let's style the centerpiece using the chafing stand. I'm loving how the spray paint turned out. It really freshened it up. I did think about brushing a little silver on to highlight the details, but I'm holding off for now. Around the base, I'm wrapping a fall leaf garland I've had for years. I just love how those rich oranges play against the soft blue. It's such a pretty combo. Inside the cake pan, I'm placing a vintage ball jar and filled it with more of the same flowers from the last centerpiece. I just arranged it in a lighter, airier way. I'm slipping a tiny pumpkin inside the stand. Just a little fun, unexpected touch for someone to discover. Between the shiny decorative balls, I'm tucking in a few dried orange slices. They're perfect for filling those little gaps and adding another touch of fall. Next up, I'm using the white cake stand as part of the centerpiece. I decided to leave it as is for now. I just couldn't settle on a change I knew I'd love. I layered a dark tan placement underneath it to give some foundation and contrast, then added 2 wooden candle holders. Their color works perfectly with the placemat. To soften the look of the metal cake stand, I'm adding a vintage crochet doily, different from the one I used earlier. I love how the ruffled edge drapes so nicely on the stand. I'm imagining this doily topped with pastries, so I'm adding a cloche. Beside the candlestick, I added a little iron mouse and a tiny silver bud vase with a single bloom. I absolutely love the whimsical touch it adds. Then I had a fun idea. Why not put the mouse and the bud vase on the cake stand too? It's just too adorable. final fall centerpiece, I'm starting with my upcycled woven tray. I just love how fantastic it looks. It was so easy to do, and with the base being removable, it gives me so many options for future decor. On the tray, I placed the thrifted pitcher and 4 matching glasses. Next, I added a small wooden bud vase with a few of the Trader Joe's flowers. I also brought back the brown glass jar, but this time I'm filling it with bamboo-handled flatware I recently scored at an estate sale. I shared that haul in another video, and I'll drop a link down below if you want to check it out. My friend, I've got one more idea for you, a little bonus. You can use the chafing stand on your buffet table to hold plates. Depending on the size, the bottom could hold appetizer plates and the top dinner plates. Seriously, it's too cute. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Remember, a beautifully set table is a gift to those gathered around it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you next time.